August NPD numbers in America are out, and there are a number of people online talking about Psychonauts 2 failing to hit anywhere in the top 20, as you can see here on the right of your screen. And they're saying this is an indication of the problem with Game Pass, because even though it wasn't an exclusive, of course, you could also buy it on PlayStation. The fact that, it's not even charting for PlayStation means it's a failure, even though it's a wonderfully reviewed game, blah, blah, blah. And this kind of mirrors a little bit of the same response people were having with, I think it was last month, with Hades that had come out, and 23% were on PS4, 70% were on PS5, and only 7% were on Xbox. And people were like, haha, and I'm going to say haha, because, a lot of people want Xbox to fail because they're 5, I don't know. But the point is, they take that like this is a problem with Game Pass. Now, the one thing I think is accurate is when Xbox talks about, or Phil Spencer, whoever, sometimes it's the head of Game Pass, I forget what her name is, when they talk about Xbox leads to game sales, I don't think that's untrue. Yes, there are people who are buying more games that wouldn't have bought games before because they've played something on Game Pass. I think there's accuracy in the statement, but I think if anybody heard the statement and what they thought that meant was, when you put a game on Game Pass, it's going to do well on Game Pass, and it's also going to sell great. I don't think anybody that uses logic to get through their day ever made that assumption, because Game Pass may ultimately financially be an abysmal failure, even though it's a wonderful player experience. It's phenomenal, okay? Different video, different conversation. But it could very well end up being a massive financial failure, but I don't understand how this is indicative of that. Because why would you buy Psychonauts? Psychonauts 1 was never a big seller. Psychonauts 1 was a cult hit, which is why it's not like there was a demand for a sequel amongst anyone but the core cult audience. So it's no surprise that it didn't chart on PlayStation any more than Mirror's Edge charted on the remake of Mirror's Edge, or the sequel, whatever they called it when they put it out. Because it's that kind of game. It has a lot of love in the community, but nobody's knocking down the door for Psychonauts 2, except the fan base, right? Same thing with Hades. If Hades is great, I love Hades, and I own it already on PC, but why would you, if you're on Xbox, why would I buy that game? Maybe if they say, hey, it's leaving in a month, oh shit, well, I really love it, I play it every day, let me buy it, there's a good discount. But what kind of mentality lays out a business model and says, we're going to basically give this away for free? Don't come at me, I know it's not free, but it's psychologically free once you pay that barrier. We're going to give this away for free. Hey, why aren't people buying it? It's like, because you're giving it away for free. It's the same reason I've started putting more and more member videos behind the members page, because it's like, well, if you want people to pay for something, you have to charge for it. So I don't understand why there's people having that logic. In fact, the interesting part to me, and again, I'm not, trust me, I would, because I love the service, but I'm not shilling for Game Pass. And I'm not defending it in terms of this. This may be a canary in the coal mine that it's not working financially. I have no idea. I think what you really need to know is, did subscription numbers stay stagnant or drop, or was there a noticeable uptick for Psychonauts when that game came out, and Flight Sim and Forza coming out and Back 4 Blood coming out? Are they not having churn, and even better, are they growing their user base? That's the kind of success barometer that these subscription services use, right? They're not going, we're HBO Max, we put out Godzilla vs. Kong on HBO Max, and in the same month we let you buy it on DVD. Why isn't it selling? It's like, that. Why would it sell? I mean, it might sell to a small subset, but the interesting part about this is whether or not you love Microsoft, hate Microsoft, whatever. This is kind of, if you read, there was a great interview with Tim Schafer in Game Informer recently, where he was basically saying, for us, meaning for Double Fine, Game Pass is perfection. It's what we need, because we've never made, for the most part, these big hit games that everybody would rush out with that barrier of entry of $40 to $70, depending on $70, and pick up. Our stuff is weird and quirky, and it's not, it doesn't jump off the box with a dude with a gun and it's like, let's fucking kill shit. It's more unique and strange. And he's saying without that barrier of entry that you don't have on Xbox, suddenly we're going to have a lot more people experiencing the stuff that we love, that we put our heart and souls into, and clearly that people who play it, I haven't played it yet, love. So in some ways it's working exactly how you would expect, which is in the normal environment, which is Sony and Switch and PC or what have you, whatever Psychonauts 2 is on, no one showed up for it, just like they didn't show up for the first one. But in the unique environment that is Game Pass, unique in terms of you don't have anyone else really doing it at all and or at the scale of Microsoft in terms of video game subservices, in that environment, there's zero data that they have shared with anyone to tell us if it's succeeding or not. Until you get those numbers, let's put it this way. If you're Microsoft and come December, January, the churn rate on Game Pass is high. Like right now, Game Pass attach rate to Xbox Series S and X is 70%. Meaning and I don't understand who the three are, but 7 out of 10 people who walk out with a Game Pass or an Xbox also pick up a Game Pass subscription. I don't know what the other three people are doing, but that's 70%, right? If come January, when they have Halo, they have Forza, they have Flight Sim, they have Psychonauts, they have all these indies. They just announced 12 more indies today coming out day one, and they have, Back 4 Blood and all this shit. And they're seeing stagnation on Game Pass. Worse, they're seeing a churn that's gutting their subscription base. Then we can start going, what in the hell? This didn't work. It was a neat try. It was a great value for people who loved it, but this is not working. But the one number you need, or the couple of numbers that you need to sort of write the celebratory article or the obituary about Game Pass, no one who's having this conversation, which is just a bunch of fans online and executives, we don't have that information. So I guess it may be news, it may not be news, but right now this is only news if you're not looking at the situation realistically and logically. It's only news if it's like you got to stand on one foot, to quote a line from The West Wing, and sort of tilt your head sideways and sort of close one eye. And when you look at it through a very specific lens that does not apply to reality, yeah, sure, you could say, Game Pass is a disaster, but this is not that. This is just, what would you expect? Why would you expect PlayStation owners to buy Psychonauts 2? God knows they didn't really buy Psychonauts 1.